Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Questions. I'm Jeff.
I'm Malika.
Okay, today we're going to look at the Daily Questions. What's our topic today, Malika?
Today we are talking about role models and heroes.
Ooh, okay, superhero movies are very popular. Our first question is, number one, who is your favorite Avenger?
Avengers is very specific, not DC.
Yeah, so this is
about Marvel. I choose Captain America. No, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel?
Marvel.
Oh.
And for the ladies.
For the ladies? Ooh, who's my favorite Avenger? Jeez, so I'm a bit of a comic book nerd, but from the movies, I guess my favorite one is Thor.
But does it have to be the movies? It says Avengers, it doesn't say it has to be the movies.
But in the Marvel comic books, actually everyone's been part of the Avengers at some point. Even Spider-Man. Spider-Man's been part of the That's Avengers. True. Like Wolverine has been part of the Avengers.
They're bringing him in later.
Yeah. I guess Thor is my favorite one. He's one of the OG Avengers, and he's super strong, has lightning abilities, and is a Viking.
Fair. Wait, is it lightning or thunder?
Well, he's the god of thunder. He's the god of thunder, but somehow,
he can summon lightning.
He summons lightning. I mean, he would be a pretty crappy superhero if all he could do was just go boom, make the sound boom.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. Can you read number 2?
Okay. Who is your ultimate role model, and what qualities do they possess that you admire?
You know what? This is going to sound cheesy, but as I'm getting older, I look at my father and how good my father was. I was a little bratty kid, and I took it for granted. But the stuff that he's done, my grandfather died when my father was only 4 years old, so he didn't really, and he was raised by my grandmother, a single mom, so he didn't really have a fatherly role. But then he was able to grow up and become an awesome dad to me, and he really did a lot of sacrifice for me and my siblings too, his time, but also went out of his way to do a lot of stuff for us. So my mom's also awesome too. My mom likes to play video games.
Video games?
Yeah.
That's a first.
Who's your ultimate role model?
Oh, mine sounds less humbling than yours. I choose Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou, why?
Yeah, 'cause she was just an awesome female person of color figure. She's been through it all, and she still prevailed until the end, and she was a legend up until her last breath.
Yeah, I also like comedy too, so I would say I like a lot of stand-up comedians. So my role model, I'm trying to do stand-up comedy. My role model for stand-up would be Dave Attell, because everyone basically says that he's the best living comedian of all time.
Also, I have to say, our Lord and Savior. I have to mention that.
Okay, number 3. Have you ever had a role model who turned out to have flaws or make mistakes? How did it affect your perception of them?
I think with Maya Angelou, because she was known so much as the poet, the writer, and an actor, is that when I went into university and we were studying her a little bit more and read her books, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and then you realize how much her life was a struggle, how much she's been through, and she's not just this person who became famous through her writing, but she had to do a lot of struggle, and she had to work her way up there. I think there was more or less 2-3 years, or at least a year, that she didn't speak after one of her traumatic pasts. So, and she did all. She was a pimp. She was in a bar. She was a writer, director, actress. She did the lowest of jobs to the highest of jobs. And so you can see those as flaws and mistakes of the kind of life that she lived, but it just made her more admirable, because that perseverance to get to the end, to get where she was in her life.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say they're role models. I can't really think of a specific person the role models, but there's a lot of actors and famous people that during the Me Too movement came popular. An example, Kevin Spacey, you found out actually he was was kind of a pedophile and sexually assaulted some people. So like I really like there's a lot of people that fell off like in the entertainment field like during the Me Too movement about 5 to 6 years ago.
Yeah, I always remember there's this one director whose name has completely slipped my mind at this point, but he, famous director who then would also direct and act in his own movies, and he was so big at the time, and maybe still a little bit big now, but then stories came out about him being a pedophile and kind of sexual assaults. When those things came out, like lost all respect for him. He still had so much fame around him. Yeah,
like there like definitely like a lot of people like that are very famous, and then when it comes out like that they did something like I really like the whole world like loses respect for that person, and they really like get outed and like they can't do anything.
There's also controversies these days about someone from Disney.
Yeah, like there's also like a lot of documentaries that come out too.
Yeah.
That talk about about a lot of stuff in Disney and Nickelodeon, that there's actually like kind of creeps there as well. We have question number 4.
Okay. If you could meet your role model for a day, what would you do together?
Okay. Well, I said before my father, but then for comedians, it would like be Dave Attell. I would just follow him around, just listen to him, he doesn't like he just drinks coffee.
Stalk him around.
I would just follow, like a little sidekick.
Okay.
Because I would just follow him around, not stalk him. I would like going, hey, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. So like as buddy vibes, not
buddy
not
vibes. Yeah,
vibes.
I would just hang out with him, because he doesn't really do much different. But yeah, like he just like his aura is also amazing. So yeah, just follow him around for 24 hours.
A whole 24 hours.
Yeah. How about yourself? If you met Maya Angelou, what would you do?
Well, if she was still alive, probably like grab some tea or coffee. I don't know. I just think like in that kind of setting, it can be quite intimate. I think get into like quite deep stories. And someone who's older, she would also then probably give me a bunch of advice on guidance on how to go forward in life. Right.
Like you just want to be their friend, right? Yeah. Like just being that person, because we look up to them. Just being around them is.
And just hearing opinions. Opinions are always just so interesting. Just to hear different perspectives of something.
Yeah. We have number 5. If you had the chance to be a role model for someone younger, what advice would you give to them?
Buy the Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin. Well, no. That was if you could go on a time machine, you would buy Bitcoin.
But this is for someone else who's younger. So would you give younger people today that kind of advice?
So if you had like a younger person looking up to you, what kind of advice would you give them?
I guess these days as cultural awareness and towards other people become more important, I think to always practice empathy, to always see someone else's perspective and to be careful and aware of the words that you say. Yeah. Not too careful that you have to censor everything, but just have an awareness.
Yeah. The advice just like stay strong, don't give up. Like all the hard work, there will be like results for your hard work if you just try. Yeah. And even if they feel like they can't do it and they want to give up, I'm like going, still that's okay, but like try your very best. But there's no bad results if you give up. Still, you could just try it, dust yourself off, and try again.
I think that's very good advice, especially because life can have so many negatives, and you have to keep going through that to eventually get the positive.
Right. Okay. Can you read our number 6, which is 5?
Can you think of a famous person who you think is a bad role model and why? I feel like it's kind of easy, just because there was it's still kind of going. Yeah. But there was this era of just famous like Viners that became YouTubers and TikTokers that become YouTubers, and like just the kind of crazy things that they used to do. And I'm like, such young people watch their content and the way that they behave. Yeah. I'm like,
I was gonna go to the same place. I'm like going famous people like influencers. Yeah. No, like these people are false idols or like you don't follow them.
And then they have money. I remember there was this one influencer who was making jokes about like if you drive your McLaren or how you pronounce it. If you drive your McLaren to my house, I'm gonna pee on it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, like even like what was it, like Logan Paul
and the
and
forest.
Jake Paul. Yeah. They were very famous, and then they went to Japan, and basically they just misbehaved.
Yeah.
They went into like the suicide forest looking for dead bodies. They went to like a peaceful like shrine temple, and like the donation box, they just threw all the coins in there. Scared people, just throwing money at them.
Just being disrespectful, like
Yeah.
those kind of people that then have that kind of attention as well.
Yeah, so it's like real heroes are actually, the ones you meet in school or, like sports athletes and all
Yeah,
that stuff. But
yeah.
not these social media, like vultures. Yeah. Number 7 we are at, right?
Yes.
Have you ever tried to copy your role model's style or fashion? How did it turn out?
Did I try to copy Maya Angelou's fashion? With Maya Angelou wise, I don't think I've tried to copy her, but I will say, like in general, just people with like the fashionable status, like let's say even Zendaya, or just trends that are going out to someone that dresses a little bit different. I think I don't have the bank account to attempt to follow the kind of way that they dress, but I will say it inspires my fashion in a certain way where I'm like, maybe this outfit should be a little bit more edgy kind of things.
Well, for me too, because my role models, my idols are like comedians, and they dress like slobs. It's very easy for me to copy their fashion stuff. Oh, jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just wearing a hat. That's pretty easy. I don't really. I like to dress in colors more than most people, but yeah. Have I tried? I probably that style, that kind of grunge kind of style. Yeah. I've fallen into that a lot, and I haven't got out of it, as you can tell. How about number 7? Number 8.
Number 8.
8.
Who is your favorite hero in the movie and why?
See, like some people, like this could be any movie, so it's not just like Marvel or DC.
Yeah, it can be any kind of hero. If we were just talking about how it's not just someone big, it can be someone smaller.
Yeah, like I was the first thing that came to my mind was Harry Potter, but then I'm like going, wait, no, actually, he's not like, yeah, he was the hero, but like he had all these advantages too.
He was more pushed into that way. It's not like he aspired to save everyone. He had to.
Yeah, like he was an orphan, but and when he became a wizard, he finds out he's like super rich, and like he's friends, and all his parents' friends are like the most important people in the magic world. Superhero, what's I guess like even like the Star Wars, like the first 3 ones, like with Luke Skywalker. So yeah, like just like he like Destiny, and like he doesn't give up, or even like Han Solo.
Han Solo?
Yeah, those are my favorite, I guess, sci-fi movies. Can you think of a movie?
This is a very, very tough question. When I think of people who at least who have inspired me, maybe not necessarily heroes, I think of something like Steel Magnolias with Queen Latifah, or Green Book.
Yeah. I haven't watched that movie.
You haven't?
No.
Shit. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But then those people are technically not heroes. They're more just representatives of the people of
Like
the character.
Yeah. Yeah, like Green Book is also based on real events, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so I guess like actually like the heroes that are in movies that are actually based on real people or like a story, like like those are actually, I guess, are the best heroes. The real life ones.
Historical figures.
Yeah.
I guess then when I think of people inspire me and heroes, I then think of movies based on historical events, focusing on that figure and their success.
Yeah. Number 9. In what way can role models have a positive impact on our lives?
Giving advice and different perspectives of a subject can probably be one thing.
Role models. So they give people that aren't as big actually something to aspire to, but also to teach lessons. That's the positive thing that they have. But is there anything else?
I guess inspiration as well. When you think of like people in media, you'll find and the more the diversity expands, then ordinary people then see people look like them on a screen, for example. That then also becomes a positive thing. Like, oh, I can also aspire to be something like that. Someone that looks like me can go up that high.
Yeah. Like your hero is Maya Angelou. You're like she achieved so much, and she broke down so many barriers for you, and like because of her hard work, you're able to do so much more, right? Is that how you feel?
Something like that. She's more American side, I'm still African side. I mean, it aligns.
All right, and our final question, would you like to read?
Do you have any athletes who consider to be heroes?
So again, I'm Canadian, so like there's a lot of like famous hockey players that we like too, and like they're not. I guess in Canada, a lot ice hockey players are seen as like heroes. Even though they're not the most handsome, but they go out, they try their very hardest. They also like they could fight, but they're all like, when you see them, they're just like an average guy, but they can do so much.
First name that comes to my head, Caster Semenya, because she's a South African athlete. She competed in the Olympics, but as a woman, she for some reason also then has a lot of natural testosterone, and that became a very big problem with the Olympic Committee. That I think because of that, she's no longer allowed to compete. Yeah. But then that just raised so many red flags about the Olympics, and I mean, it's unfortunate that someone has to go through that to then represent those flaws. But then she became like such a figure around that time. Yeah,
I actually like a lot of like women. Like athletes too, like I watch UFC too, like Ronda Rousey too. Like before, like the UFC, the owner Dana White says, "I'll never have women in the UFC." But then Ronda Rousey, she won a silver medal at the Olympics. She actually showed the world that women can be tough. That if there's there is a fan base for this stuff. And also I watch wrestling, and now like half of like a wrestling show is also women's wrestling too.
I think that becomes important to me now because I do judo.
Yeah.
And even in my gym alone, not that I have much of a problem with it, but it becomes very male dominated if you look at that kind of sport. So just it's a tough sport, and you get injured 100%. Yeah. But I mean, just to see more variety.
Women can do it too. All right, well, that concludes the daily questions. If you have more questions about culcom, you can find them on Instagram. I've been Jeff.
I'm Malika.
Bye-bye.